Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. And I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day yesterday. And for those of you that were here yesterday and the day before, I hope you wrote your love letter to yourself because it definitely is an amazing thing to do. And so if you haven't done that already, do that. You'll be so glad you did. So, anybody that is here live, make sure you say hello because with StreamYard, I don't see you pop in unless you speak to me. And if you haven't given StreamYard permission to see your contact information, then make sure you let me know who you are. And then I would ask you if you could go back later and in the description, there is actually a link that you can go to let StreamYard know who you are. And then from there on, it will be able to display your name. And so we don't have to think about it. So do that. And anybody that shows up and watches the replay, put in hashtag replay because I really like knowing that you've been here and I can reach out if you end up having some questions or anything because this group is all about you. And I love sharing every day with the affirmations and the journal prompts. And then the Monday live is the one that I really want you to be at, if at all possible. And I know some of you are working and different things going on, and I perfectly understand, but the replay will be there for you. And so, and I got some sinusy stuff going on. So let me have a sip of my coffee. And I just got off the phone a few moments ago with a great friend of mine. And we do this thing where we talk once a week. And sometimes we talk more often than that, but we talk at least once a week and we share the things that we're doing and what our aspirations are for our life and our business. And we talk about things like in the pre-paving sense, where we talk about things that we are aspiring to do as if they're actually happening now. And so our next week when we talk, because we talk on Thursday mornings, we're going to be talking a lot about our goals and what we see for ourselves for the year. And I know, a lot of people, that's one of the things that it's hard to do because you know what you want, but you really don't know how to get it. So if you haven't, created your goals for the year, your intentions, your aspirations, then maybe take some time because this is the, middle of February. Well, that's actually past the middle because there's not 30 days in February, but this is leap year. So you get an extra day and so the thing is that with leap year, just know that you've got one extra day to start creating this new you, right? And so go and make a decision. What is it that you want to see by January 1st next year? And then kind of backtrack. And how do I need to make that happen? And it's a simple process, not always easy because we kind of get bogged down into, what our beliefs are and what people have said and all of those things. And so sometimes, we kind of struggle with that. And so if you are someone who struggles with that and you need some help, just reach out and you can actually post in the group because the group is amazing about helping people. And I've been so excited with, sometimes people are posting something and or they will say something in the comments to one of the lives. And then there's other people that will pop in and say, this is what I've had, this is what works for me, or I'm thinking of you, I'm sending out prayers. And so everybody is just so giving. And so take advantage of that, not in a bad way, but take advantage in the fact that there are a lot of people here that want to see you succeed, however that looks to you. And so if you're struggling with something, make a post that this is what's going on for me. And I just wanted to let you guys know, send me some prayers, whatever. And then you will be surprised at the amount of people that will come in and help you and be that encouraging voice. So utilize the space as the place where you can be vulnerable and you can ask for help. You can share your accomplishments. You can share what may be happening that you don't like so much. And somebody may have an amazing piece of advice, or they may have someone they can connect you with. There's so much there to utilize. And for those that are not familiar with the group, Make Lasting Change, because I do have this feeding out to others. And if you would like to be part of a community that does all of this together, then definitely ask to be part of the group. You go to vickypoole.com, and that is spelled VICKIEPOOLE.com, and make sure you answer the questions, because only the people that answer all the questions are admitted into the group. And I do that because it is a boundary that we have for the group, so that people can be vulnerable and they can feel comfortable. And so we want to make sure that everybody is taken care of. So if you're interested in being part of this amazing group, then go to vickypoole.com, like I said, and VICKIEPOOLE.com. And I spell it because usually the little transcriber thing, it doesn't spell it correctly. So I just want to make sure that you get into it and be part of the group and just get all of the amazing content. And we do a Monday live in the group that is amazing for everybody. We celebrate, we do so much. And then we have guests that pop in. And so this upcoming Monday, I'll be live at 9 a.m. with all of my normal celebrations and instruction and everything. And then let me look and make sure what time it is. At 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Then I have this amazing person coming in, and she's going to be speaking all about how you can make being organized your new normal. And wouldn't being organized every single day, wouldn't that really make a huge difference in how you can show up in the world? And maybe it will make a big difference on how you can get to that end goal at the January 1st, whatever that goal is. Organization would help you get there a little bit more easier, I guess. So if you're interested in doing that, then, join the group. She will be live in the group on Monday. And what is that? That's next Monday. So that's the 19th. And so I would love to have you there. So anybody that is in the other group, anybody that is on YouTube that wants to be part of this amazing community, just go to vickypoole.com and join. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go to today's affirmation. All right. Going to copy and paste all this. All right. So today's affirmation is, I am open to receiving abundance in many forms. And this one is beautiful because a lot of times when we think of abundance, we think financial, right? And that is wonderful to have financial abundance, but there's abundance in so many forms. There's abundance of talent. There's abundance of creativity. There's abundance of friendships and relationships. And, so there's a lot of different things that you can be abundant in. And like I have a questionnaire that I give to my clients that sign up for big packages like 6 months or a year. And those people I have fill out this questionnaire. And so they rate all the different levels of their life. And so all the areas, so there's actually 99 questions that they answer. And it's like you rate from, one is, or Yeah, 1 is it doesn't really matter that much, and then, 5, it's amazing, and you rate where you are on these different parts of your life. So it's not only your professional life, it's your personal life, it's your financial life, your life where you're giving back to yourself. So there's these different areas of your life that we measure in that way. And the reason that I do that is because like I've said before, when you're making these 1% changes every day, everything becomes your new normal because we're constantly changing. And so sometimes we do not recognize how far we've come if we didn't have something to measure it by. And that's one of the things that these affirmations and journal prompts really do for you. Sorry, especially the journal prompts, because you can go back later and look at those journal prompts and you can see where you were in your mind and your thoughts and your actions and your feelings. Then you can evaluate, well, now this is how I feel. And you can see the changes. And that's what this questionnaire that I have for these long-term clients, that it does. So when they fill it out, we revisit it every quarter to see how differently they're feeling. And then we also see where is the needle not moved enough that we might want to focus on a little bit more. And I have this circle of life that questionnaire that I have people do as well. And so anybody that would like to maybe get a little information about the circle of life where you can kind of see where you are in your life and what needs more attention than other things, I'll be glad to share that with you. Excuse me. And so just let me know. And if you're interested in the circle of life, in the comments, put circle of life and I will reach out to you and let you know what that is. All right. So like I said, I'm sorry. Oof. So remember, I am open to receiving abundance in many forms and surrender to however that shows up and be open to receive, because a lot of us are givers and givers and givers and givers. And if that's you, then you're so much more comfortable giving than receiving. And a lot of times, even when it comes to financial abundance, a lot of times, somebody may gift you something. Somebody may, you go to a restaurant and somebody in the restaurant pays for your dinner, and it's happened before. And a lot of people that are not comfortable with receiving would say, no, I don't really want that. And, and another thing about receiving is sometimes receiving compliments are hard for people. So part of receiving abundant things can just be people giving you compliments. So look and see where you are really quick to not let somebody help you or not let somebody give you a compliment. Because what if somebody said, oh, I just love that shirt. And you say, oh, thank you. But it's old. And so you're receiving and pushing at the same time. And we do that without even thinking. So this is a time to really be open to receiving in whatever form that is without having that push pull. And so get comfortable with receiving. And so I am open to receiving abundance in many forms is a great affirmation for all different areas of your life. Make sure you put it on your sticky note. Put it on an index card, put it on your mirror with a chalk marker like I do, put it as your screensaver. I mean, write it out on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere. I mean, whatever you have to do, but make it a visible thing and where you're going to see it often, so that that can be something that you say to yourself. Every time you see that, say that to yourself. I am open to receiving abundance in many forms, and give it some emotion, give it some feel, because can you feel the difference of that? I am open to receiving abundance in many forms, as opposed to, I am open to receiving abundance in many forms. It's a very different feeling that the body has. We've talked so many times about the vibrations that we have within us and how that permeates around us, right? And how it also brings things into us. So when you say this in kind of a so monotone, or, I don't really believe it, but I'm going to say it, then it's not really going to do a lot for you. Now, it may move the needle, a fragment, right? But you want something more than that. So by giving it that emotion, that change your posture, because we can talk like this or we can talk like this. And so just changing your posture changes your voice. It changes your vibration. And give a good smile when you say it. Be excited, because what if you found out that by saying this every single day with emotion and with giving it all you've got, what if in 6 months that was the thing that actually exponentially changed your abundance in the different areas of your life? It may not just be financial abundance, which it's probably not, because what we do affects everything. And so look at it as the abundance in your life is going to increase in so many ways. And it starts here. So give it all you've got. Man, oh man, won't it be exciting to look at? I mean, what if in 30 days? What if in a week? I mean, do it, do it, do it, right? All right. And I look forward to seeing how it feels when you do this, because really, really get into that. If you have to, be an actor or an actress and play the part of an abundant receiver until it becomes who you are. So, all right. So now let's go to our journal prompt. All right. So our journal prompt today is: in what ways have you recently received abundance, and how did it make you feel? And so that one is going to take a little bit of thought, right? Because a lot of times the things that are abundant, we don't even notice. All right. So let's see if I can find an example that I can think of. All right. So, part of an abundance that I've received is some messages from people that have that wanted to come to last night's live and weren't able to make it, but were so excited about the fact that they did have an amazing Valentine's Day and whatever it was that they did. And they thanked me for inviting them, and they thanked me for asking them to write that love letter to themselves, and just having them look at Valentine's in a totally different way. So that was a receiving of abundance to me, because I love that. And my conversation that I had with my friend this morning, I did a hypnosis session with her not too long ago, and she made some pivotal movements in her life. And so she was telling me, thank you. And so that was abundance that I received this morning. Every time that I have a conversation with someone and I can smile and they smile back, that's an abundance thing to me. And so there are so many things that are abundance that may not have a damn thing to do with how much money's flowing in your account. But by doing these different things and recognizing them, that helps the abundance in your account begin to flow. Because everything, it's like a domino. Every time you do something, it creates something else. It's that ripple into the ocean, right? So every time you can recognize and appreciate the abundance of something in your life, no matter what it is, then you are really creating this difference in your entire life. Another abundance thing that I have is I have some family and friends that are always there for me no matter what. And I feel so abundant with that. My adult daughter that lives with me, you know, we have learned these boundaries with each other as an adult, and I feel so abundant when I recognize how we can communicate now as adults as opposed to mother daughter. And I love that. And that feels abundant to me. So, how do you feel abundant? So, what have you received recently? And how did it make you feel? And all these examples that I just gave you make me feel light, loved, joyful, excited. And every time something shows up and I recognize the abundance that it is, then that just kind of makes me elated. And and I haven't always been that way. There have been so many times in my life that things would be happening, and let's say, for instance, when you think about money, there would be times that suddenly somebody would pay me what, maybe it was something that they owed me or whatever, and I was sitting there needing a certain amount of money, and they paid me, but it wasn't enough to cover whatever it was. And instead of being so excited that they had given me this money they owed me, I would immediately think, oh, well, that's great, but it's not enough. And so I stayed in that not enoughness for a very, very long time. And and I will say that sometimes it can be really challenging to get out of that place of not enoughness. And not to say that I'm perfect by any means, because I'm not. I'm not perfect in any area of my life. I am always constantly learning and growing and becoming who I want to be. And because we are human and nobody is perfect, we learn, we grow, we learn from each other. And so, getting back to the prompt, in what ways have you recently received abundance and how did it make you feel? So just envision, your month, your week, your the past year. What was showing up for you that you might feel is an abundance? Maybe it's something that's happened yesterday, or maybe it's happened today, but just brain dump everything you can about anything that you've received in abundance. And if you don't want to look at, if it feels like there's nothing that's close and recent, then go back a little further. It doesn't matter. Just find that abundance thing and then feel it, feel how it feels and recognizing it. How did it make you feel? Because you can always come back to that feeling once you get to that place and you find it. And so that's a beautiful place to be. So, like I've said so many times, our mind, our brain works so differently when we write things out with a pen and paper as opposed to a keyboard. So utilize that extra thing that the brain and the mind do and write it out on a piece of paper, whether it's in your journal or whether it's on just a plain piece of paper that you keep in a folder. Because I would really advise you to keep all these journal prompts in a folder or in your journal so that you can look back and see what those things are and how you felt then and how different you feel now. Because we can only appreciate the things that we notice. We can, the movement that we get in all of this is such a beautiful thing. And I want to make sure that you recognize the changes that you're making, no matter how small they may be. And this is how you do it, by daily journals and going back and looking and seeing how I would answer this differently now, and just see. All right. Well, you have an enormously blessed day. I am so excited to share with you every single day, in one form or another. And I hope you I hope you find the abundance that you're looking for But mainly, I want you to recognize every piece of abundance that shows up for you. And there is magic in that. So I will leave you with that. Find the magic of abundance in your life, whatever it is. And I will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I would love to see you here. And just a quick reminder before I forget that when you share in the group, whether you're sharing that you did your affirmation, or you're sharing that you did your journal prompt, or you're sharing what your self-care is, because this is a form of self-care too. And so if you're struggling with figuring out what to do for self-care, start here. Just do your journal prompt or do your affirmation and write it out and take a picture of it, share it in the group, and put hashtag peachy vibes, because you guys are my peachy peeps. And I am so excited to share this journey with you of making lasting change. See you tomorrow. Mwah.